Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done a live video, so I feel like I'm having to start all over again with how to do it and how to start it up. But I wanted to get on here because today marks 1 year since my dad passed away, and so I wanted to get on here and just kind of share some things with all of you guys because now I know what it's like, to lose a loved one, and I know how hard that it can be. And I know, I had a lot of people tell me yesterday that they were just so amazed at how strong I've been, or our family's been through all of this, and how they admire our faith and all of that stuff, and how they struggle with feeling, because sometimes you just don't feel like you have faith, so they feel like their faith is non-existent or it's weak or whatever. And I just wanted to share with y'all the truth about what I went through yesterday. So yesterday was really hard because even though it wasn't the actual 1 year anniversary, because that was today, yesterday was Mother's Day. And that's the day that my dad passed away last year, was Mother's Day. And so it was really hard because I was sitting there at church and I was thinking, hey, Ashton, I was thinking, this really sucks. Last year on this day, I wasn't even here. My dad passes away and I'm not even here. I wasn't even in the country, And so then I got so mad for a second as we're sitting there in praise and worship. I got so mad and I thought, this isn't fair. This wasn't fair. My dad left and he died, and I didn't get my chance to save him. My brothers and my sister and my mom, they all got to just, drain themselves of sweat and energy and tears trying to resuscitate him, and I didn't get that chance. I didn't get that chance to try and save my dad, and that was really hard because I felt like I wanted that chance, and it just wasn't fair that I didn't get to have that. So then it was once these negative thoughts start coming in, it's they just flood and they flood and they flood. And then another thing hit me, that even though Mother's Day isn't always going to be on the 13th of May, the 13th from now on, May 13th, it seems like it's just always going to be an awful day, and not only that is May 13th going to be an awful day, but Mother's Day, because it was Mother's Day when he left us. And now, Mother's Day is supposed to be the one holiday that I get to celebrate the parent that I have left. And it's going to be hard for us to do that. It's going to be hard for my mom to even let us celebrate her because, her love of her life is not here anymore. And, and then I got even madder because I thought, I've never even had a Mother's Day. I've wanted to be a mom my entire life. And my dad's never going to get to experience a Mother's Day with me as a mother. So that one day that's dedicated to rejoice and honor that dream that I accomplished finally of being a mom, I feel like it's just going to be a dreaded day. I'm never going to want to experience that Mother's Day because it's just going to be a reminder that he's not here. And those were just some of the thoughts that I had yesterday. It just keeps spiraling and spiraling, and then I had so many people at church come up and comfort me, and in that moment, like, I just wanted my dad. I just wanted my dad to come and hug me, because every time my dad was on stage and I would be, during praise and worship, just really struggling, I mean, he could see it. He would always just come down and hug me and love on me and comfort me and tell me that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, babe. It's going to be okay. So, I know that I can't have that anymore. So it seemed like in that moment, like, the only thing that could make it better was, like, my man, my husband, my partner, my rock come and wrap his strong arms around me and tell me that it's going to be okay. And even though it couldn't, like, take all my pain away in that moment, it's almost like it could fill some of that void, because it's like I still have that man there with me. And then like, all those negative thoughts pile on, because it's like, anytime I get close to that, to having that man in my life, they just leave. They just leave me. And then it's like, all these questions, like, why? Why does that have to happen to me? Like, what's wrong with me? Why do they leave me? Why does this have to happen to me? Like, I've served you, God, my whole entire life. I have loved you my entire life since I was a baby, and I was born and raised in church, and I've done, like, the best that I could. Like, why does this happen? Why is my life like this? And I'm almost 30 years old, and I have nothing that I wanted. Like, why does that happen, God, if you're in control? And then I pushed through with the help of, like, my family and our church members, and we had a good Mother's Day. We went and we spent all day outside working on the yard, and, like, my brother Aaron came up on the tractor and was brush hogging, and he wore a hat, like, looked just like my dad, and that was a special moment to see, because it was almost like he was right there, but we had a good day, and we chose to be happy and enjoy each other's time, and it was good. It was a good day. But then I got home and I'm alone, So that's when Satan attacks you the most, when you're alone and you're by yourself. And then, like, all those thoughts just started piling on again, because, like, I look at our family picture, and the last one that I have with my dad are, our whole family picture, and I start picking out people that are missing there, and I noticed that my daddy, like, the main person in that picture is gone, and he's never coming back. And then, like, the man that was standing beside me is gone. And then I look at my younger brother, and, like, my sister-in-law now, like, she's not here anymore, and, like, I miss her so much. And now my brother's alone, and he has 2 kids, and, like, he spends half, like, it's just negative, and it's like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, now my nephews and nieces, like, I have so many that are from what we would call a broken home, and it's like, God, like, my family didn't deserve all of this. Like, my family, we're not perfect, but we're a good family. And it just didn't make any sense. Like, why does this have to happen to us? Now me and my brother are both alone, and we're good. Like, we're good people, God. And I just feel like we had so much loss, and I didn't understand. Like, I just didn't understand why we had to go through so much pain in this life. So it's like, what gives, God? What gives? Like, what is the point of this life? Like, what is the point? Why? If things always go wrong, if we always have to go through all this pain, like, what's the point? What is the point? Like, I will never get to hug my daddy's neck on this earth ever again. I will never have that moment. My dad will never see me pregnant. walk me down the aisle. My dad will never be able to preach my wedding like he has hundreds of others. Like, he will never get to see my kids. Like, this is not fair. Like, these are facts that I have to swallow, and it's never gonna happen. Like, these things will never happen, you know. And then sometimes it feels like I'm never even gonna get married. I'm never even gonna have this or have that or accomplish this dream or not. Like, how am I supposed to just be okay with this and move on and live? And I wanted to show y'all that, like, I'm normal. Like, I have these thoughts just like so many others, and I know that so many others do because I'm a counselor, so I see this all the time. And I had all of those thoughts, all of it, and I felt so broken, and I just thought, you know, like, I'm so down. I'm so at rock bottom. I'm so tired, and I'm so behind in life. Like, I'm so behind. I'm so behind in this healing process. I'm so behind in this grieving process. I'm so behind in starting my family. I'm so behind in that intimate, deep relationship with you, I guess, because my trust and my faith, like, they're wavering, and I don't feel like I'm where I should be at my age, and I've had all this single life, and I have wasted it. Like, I've wasted all these years because I have spent time with you, but I haven't spent enough time. And if I really had that relationship with you, like, I would be firm in my beliefs, and I would be strong, and I would hurt, but I would know that everything's gonna be okay. So it's just like this downward spiral of depressing and negative and hopelessness, and it was overwhelming at some points. But then I thought of this story in the Bible about the woman with the issue of blood. And I heard this sermon a long time ago. And, you know, it's in Luke 8:43 through 48. And it talks about how she has this issue of blood, and she's been suffering for it for years and years. And verse 44 says that this woman came up from behind, and she touches the hem of his garment, and she's healed immediately. Immediately her bleeding stops. And this sparked something in my spirit. I love you, Bailey. It sparked something in my spirit. Like, if she can do it, then I can do it, right? So my daddy, he didn't raise no quitter. My daddy didn't raise no weak-minded girl. Like, my daddy didn't raise what I'm feeling right now. This is not who I am. My daddy raised a strong girl to be just like him. He never quit despite adversity. He never quit despite people walking out of his church and walking out of his life. He never quit despite how much pain people put him through. He never quit despite how much work had to be done in the church, and he knew he'd have to do it by himself. Like, he never quit. He never once quit. He came from behind, and he didn't even finish high school. Like, my dad was addicted to drugs for years, and he made a lot of mistakes. Like, he has a long track record of failures and mess ups, and so he was behind. And he came from behind, and he conquered this life despite his issues, despite his hurt and his pain and his brokenness. Like, he came from behind, and he accomplished so much. No matter what Satan threw at him, he conquered it. And it's all because his faith was always in the right place. He always had that relationship with God, and he just knew. He just had this knowing. And yeah, I've seen my dad hurt before, and broken and angry and upset and frustrated, but it's like it's lasted this long. And then he would say, well, God's going to take care of it. Or, well, you know, God must have something better. Or, well, God's still on the throne, so obviously something good is coming. And, like, that was always his response. And I'm at home. I lived with him. Like, I seen his brokenness, but this was the real deal. Like, he would break, and then right in that moment of breaking, he would come out and be like, nope, God's got this. God's got this. God's got this. And that is who he raised me to be. So despite my history, despite my past mistakes, despite who's walked out on me and left me, despite how I feel about myself, despite my insecurities, despite all that I've lost, despite all those moments with my daddy that I will never have, I don't mind coming from behind. Because I don't have just a hem of a garment to touch. None of us do. We don't have just a hem of a garment. We have a whole relationship with God. We have all of Jesus. We have all of him right here with us. And I do have a deep, intimate, personal relationship with him. And even though I feel sometimes like I'm far off and I'm far away and I'm failing in that relationship because I'm not trusting him and I'm mad at him and I'm angry at God, like, he's always right there. He is always right here beside me with his arms open, ready to just love on me and hug on me and tell me it's going to be okay. And I also don't mind coming from behind because I have witnessed with my own eyes, and I just have to be reminded, but I have witnessed with my own eyes so many miracles. I don't mind coming from this broken place because I have seen God do incredible, miraculous things with broken pieces. Like, I look at my sister. She was single for 14 years. She was alone and by herself and broken, and 14 years she was alone. And honestly, I think a lot of us gave up on thinking she was ever going to find a man. But guess what? Like, just this year, God brought a man into her life, and now actually it started last year, but they're married, and he is amazing. He is incredible. He is the husband that she has always hoped and dreamed for, better than anything she ever could have imagined, and that's a miracle right there. 14 years in the waiting, and that's a miracle. So I know that God can do incredible, miraculous things. So am I going to feel like this every second of the day? No. Am I going to have my breakdowns and my moments where I'm hurting and I'm missing him and I'm struggling? Yeah, I'm going to have that. But quitting's not going to be an option for me because I may feel like I'm in last place, but the Lord says that the last will be first. And because I know just from reading my favorite history book, the Bible, because I know that these were facts. These stories actually happened. God always chose the least likely. He always chose the losers. He always chose the ones in last place, the broken ones, the insecure ones, the ones that everybody else counted out, the ones that everybody else left alone. Like, God chooses those people every time to do the most amazing, amazing things. And now that I can recognize that, yeah, I'm coming from behind, but I know that I'm going to be able to do things that people in first place probably never even think about doing. Like, if I'm in first place my whole life and everything's great and rainbows and unicorns, like, why would I need to pray? Why would I need to grow my prayer life? Why would I need to grow my relationship with Christ? Why would I need to grow and develop all these things if I'm already up here? But the fact that I'm down here, now my prayer life gets longer. Now my relationship with Christ gets stronger. Now my faith gets stretched and stretched and stretched to these places where nobody else would have faith like that. Nobody else would pray like that. Nobody else would speak like that. Nobody else would be like my mom and be so broken and hurting because she's lost the man of her life that's been there since she was 13 years old, and now she's comforting other people, and she's able to laugh and enjoy her life with her kids and her grandkids, and we're moving things in and out of the house, and we're working in the yard, and we're doing things that Dad used to do, and we're doing it, and she's doing it without breaking down and crying, without hurting, and she's still able to give people God's love every single day and smile and be there for people. And she's able to do that because of what we've went through, because of where she's came from, and because You know, like we felt like we were in last place, and now we're on our journey and we're able to do things that people like that have never been through that would never do. So I can let go control of my life, because as low as I am, I know that there's no way that I'm getting through this without God. No way. There is no way in my brokenness and everything that I've been through that I should be able to get through life without God. So now my trust gets to grow. My faith gets to grow. And then I get to let go of control and finally do life the way that I should be doing life. Letting God control all of it. And so I just wanted to get on here and say that if you're in a broken position, if your life is not going the way that you wanted it to go, if you have lost more than you feel like you've gained in this life, don't give up. Like, don't give up. Don't give up, because the last will be first. And this time is such a precious time, because you're learning things and you're growing things, and I'm able to reach inside of myself and find strength that I never even knew that I had ever. And I just don't give up, because this breaking of you is going to be the making of you. So I just wanted to get on here and say that, like, yes, when you see me out and about and I'm smiling, I am hurting on the inside a lot of the time, and I am broken on the inside a lot of the time, but I'm choosing to come from behind and let God take control of this. And I'm choosing to be excited and happy for my future, even though sometimes I feel like it might not happen. I'm choosing to believe the opposite. So I love you guys, and I just wanted to get on here and share with y'all what was on my heart today. Thanks.